The United Nations has now declared war against videos just like this one that dare imply that the global elites are conspiring to take over in a great reset. The UN is commanding citizens, journalists, and social media to report people who present such ideas, people like us. Specifically, the UN also warns that, quote, George Soros, the Rothschilds, and the State of Israel must not be linked to any alleged conspiracies. Yeah, but what if they're involved? Now, that means that in the near future, videos like this one that expose the global elites as a cabal will likely be banned, just like videos were during the COVID-19 pandemic that exposed the lab leak theory or other issues. This is not a surprising thing. Shutting down free speech is an important step for them to accelerate their global takeover. If the 7 billion people on planet Earth oppose a great reset, it's not going to happen. So they have to keep everyone in the dark. The first question anyone would ask, of course, is why? Why would the United Nations get involved in media censorship of those opposed to the Great Reset? And the answer is very simple. They are involved, as we've always said. They're involved on the side of the global elite and the billionaires. According to the UN's official statement, quote, world events are not secretly manipulated behind the scenes by powerful forces with negative intent. End of quote. The UN calls anything that implies governments or institutions are in on this takeover, they call them conspiracy theories. Of course, the fact that the United Nations itself has put forth documents that show they plan next year to begin to eliminate national sovereignty and move away from individual nation states to a model run by their thought leaders, a one world government. That isn't negative intent, they say. No, it's for your own good. If the world is controlled by men like this, or even this guy. Again, you might ask, why would the UN be interested in what theories are out there about a great reset unless their thought leaders are actually planning to do this, right? So this move by the UN is a de facto evidence that the reset is coming and likely coming very soon. Now, the UN said only those stories, articles, videos, and reports that internet fact checkers say are truthful, truly are truthful from this point forward. Well, the fact that the fact checkers are owned and controlled by the global elites and the social media companies means that from this point on, the fox now officially guards that hen house, according to the United Nations. Again, we have to ask, why does the United Nations care about these things? Unless they are intimately involved, as we've suspected all along. And given the prestige and power of the United Nations, it is entirely likely that this mandate will be implemented by social media companies across the board. Just as in the COVID-19 pandemic, we were told to trust the science of the CDC and the NIH. In that same way, we will now be told to trust the politics of the United Nations and the global elites. Expect it. The authority of the UN will be used in exactly the same way the authority of those health agencies were used to squelch any dissenting opinion, to squelch free speech. It's coming, folks. The UN is now recommending that mainstream journalists, social media companies, and even private citizens report anyone spreading the idea that the global elites are trying to take over the world in a great reset. The UN states some conspiracies do exist, but only those that the mainstream media deems correct. Of course, the problem with this is that the mainstream media is owned, bought, and paid for by the same people that are trying to consolidate control. You know, the global billionaires and the elite. So the UN's move to censor anyone disagreeing with the mainstream media is a worldwide attempt to silence those who are blowing the trumpet of warning, those who are watchmen on the walls. It's also a sign that an enormous number of people are concerned about this. Thus, the effort to censor. Why would you censor something that no one is concerned about? Obviously, millions and perhaps billions of people are concerned about this great reset. So, the question everyone would be asking at this point is, okay, they're doing this, what can you do? First, share this video and all other videos that discuss this great reset and takeover now before it's too late and the censor drops the hammer. A list of all our videos on this subject are down in the description below. So before this video ends, you can stop it and copy the links to a separate site and then begin to share them one by one. Thanks for doing that. I think we all deserve to see what it is that the UN doesn't want you to see.